heal more. But in the case of Dragonlord 2, he is always guaranteed to have Dragonlord Breath and physical attacks, and then would be either heal or sleep. And looks like we are underway, so we'll get our first look at what the first items will be, hiding in the throne room with King Lorik.
And we first see the Cursed Belt, as well as the Herb, and the obligatory Magic Key.
Wow, and starting with 0 MP, so that will mean no spells and no chance at using spells until a level is gained at least.
But they do have 17 strength, which is a good chance. And look at that, we've got Charlotte Castle right outside of Tanagel Castle. And the Seawolf getting hit with sleep by the magician who decides to run away. And of note in chat, no, you're not taking crazy pills, Pause 82, as the sprites in the game, there are some multiple options, and wow, Wraith has hurt more, and Blue Dragon has hurt.
Looking like the Blue Dragon and Wraith, unless by lucky chance you can take them down before they cast one of those spells on you, are not going to be our noodle monster, so to speak.
Yes, thankfully to make things somewhat easier, somewhere in the 3 zones nearest to the castle, there is one enemy that has 5 hit points and will only attack you for 1 damage. Now, they may have high agility, so it may be a tough fight to take care of them, but otherwise, there is that one enemy. Otherwise, they'll be here fighting for days trying to get some sort of an advancement. So there is that potential to have that particular enemy, and it's a matter of seeing which one that is.
It seems Droll Magi's punching for a hefty 12 would not be it either, but we do have a Magidraki with a liking to stop spell and Dragonlord Breath. So
wow.
Yeah, Magidraki is not being too friendly, being our first enemy to have Dragonlord Breath.
And as you see, the Dragonlord Breath, that hefty fire that can do anywhere from, I believe, 63 to 72 damage. And as I was making my point earlier, so much going on here, it's hard to keep things in check here, but the different sprites that can be created in the game, along with your standard hero, you can have the Dragon Warrior 4 Heroine, which is what Lord of the Synth is using. And wow, we've got a huge level up for Seawolf, going up to level 5. Right off the bat, 3 minutes in.
Looks like green dragons are going to be our noodle enemy. He did manage to take it out with a Kaishin no Ichigeki, however. Does get heal and hurt to start with, and we'll go talk to the old man inside of Tantegel to restore his MP and health with that heal.
Wow, heal, hurt, radiant, stop spell, and return. 5 spells in those gaining of 4 levels just from the 104 hit points. And it takes only 12 to get to level 2, but you can see how one enemy can make a huge difference right off the bat.
And Red Slime's being significantly more friendly in this seed, looks like.
That is good to hear. It's as if RNGesus knew that I didn't. I was hoping to not have a late night.
Bit beefy,
although that could be the commentator's curse, and now this thing's going to go 3 hours. Now that I've said.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's hope for no commentator curse this time around.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, as far as the different sprites, you can play as Mario or Luigi or Link, or you could play as Princess Gwaelin, just to name a few. It's all part of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer program, as the Blue Dragon sends Lord of the Synth back, and Drolls have hurt more. Ouch. And they can attack for 17. Double ouch. And Lord of the Synth going after a Metal Slime who 2 hits Lord of the Synth and sends him back to the castle.
Nice play from Theseawolf there to stop spell the blue dragon, as he does seem prone to casting that hurt spell quite a bit.
And another excellent move, and the blue dragon taken out for 65 experience, and we've got another level up. Fairly modest of 2, 2, 6, and 1, but already up to level 6 just 5.5 minutes into this seed. Lord of the Synth, meanwhile, struggling to get that first enemy, and that's usually one of the biggest challenges of this Chaos seed, as while the Theseawolf is taking an early lead, 169 experience, you can have an enemy that can give up to 255. So if Lord of the Synth is able to get the right kill on the right enemy, he is right back into this thing and could easily take the lead with one enemy.
And we do find that those Metal Slimes also have the Baby's Breath, which does quite a bit more than the physical hits that he's dishing out towards the Theseawolf. Goes casting Stop Spell and being a noodle enemy, so to speak, and will give Synth his first level, at least.
Ooh, lots of hit points and magic points, and that gets him to level 4, which gives Hurt, Stop Spell, and Return.
Wow, so the first 4 levels only needing at least 46 experience to get to.
And as you saw, 169 gets you to level 6.
And
normally in the regular game, 337 gets you level 6.
And both the runners are going with the Strength HP build. Theseawolf has chosen the Big Z, whereas Synth has chosen the Big J, but both do still get you the same stat growth. And Theseawolf seems bound and determined to take out this Metal Slime here, despite it having the Baby's Breath. While Synth, meanwhile, has chosen to do some exploration with his newfound health and MP, along with the Hurt spell. And Theseawolf does manage to take down his Metal Slime and get another level, another 2 levels with quite a bit of power and agility to go around that time around, and a 249 from that Metal Slime.
Ooh, that might be the enemy of choice, even with that Baby Breath.
Yeah, Metal Slimes being a little bit more towards their vanilla experience giving, but not so much towards the defense and running away. Synth does take down the skeleton with 133 experience, and that will be enough to get him at least 1 more level with a whopping 25 power, 11 hit points, and does get him up to level 6 now. And our initial
early on, a lot of high experience enemies, which certainly can help move this seed along in terms of getting our different racers here stronger and stronger, but not quite strong enough to take care of that wizard as the Theseawolf gets sent back.
Our initial levels coming in rather quick, just 9 minutes in, and Synth is at level 6, whereas Theseawolf is at 8, with only 418 experience gains so far. So not much needed to get up into the 10s, or at least close to them.
Yeah, in the the standard randomizer version of the game, to get to level 8, it's 975 experience, so half of that getting you to level 8 here in this run.
Yep, and our Red Dragons, being the fun police that they usually are, sends Synth back home, as a Drakima does the same thing to Theseawolf, hitting for a whopping 20 plus each hit.
And only 170 XP to get to level 9. So 525 will be the key experience number. And Amazing Amphro is noting in chat, if Hurtmore is learned, that is absolutely going to blow the seed open and allow for a great deal of exploration. Oh, and the metal slime running away from the Seawolf.
Yeah, that's the metal slimes that we know and love. Quick to run. But Lord of the Synth finding our first 2 towns over here, just south from Tantegel Castle.
And Hawk's Nest is one of them.
Yeah, that ever-popular Hawk's Nest, which can hold either the Flute, the Token, or Urgix armor. But our second town would be Cantlin, with 3 weapon shops, 2 that they'll have access to now, as well as the Coordinates giver down on the south end of the town.
Ooh, the price, the price to play is pretty high.
Yeah, not a very friendly shop price this time around. Is almost everything is going to cost more than its typical value in that first shop. Let's see what our second shop gives us.
Large shield for 408's not bad. That's about half of its traditional value, but everything else in the 4 and 5 digit range.
A bit of a discounted flame sword there, though, at least. So not too bad if they can find a decent gold grind early on.
Yeah, Omega Fulf noting in chat, High Roller Store. Yeah, where's the casino? Oh, wait, no, that's a different Dragon Warrior game.
Those casinos, though, they can keep me stuck in there for days.
Yeah, not something you want to do in a speed run. How did it take you 4 hours? Well, I spent 2.5 in the casino. I was trying to win. Not that way, though. Remember, folks, bet with your head, not over it. Gamble responsibly.
Wolves going down, only giving 10 experience, but Seawolf has found our third town, which happens to be Garenham. Hopefully the shop will be a little more giving in this one.
Ooh, full plate armor for 20 gold.
That is certainly a more giving shop. Everything else still a bit pricey, though, especially that magic armor for over 9,000.
I feel like there's a joke there, but I'm not quite certain of it. And the Seawolf gonna meander around a little bit more. Meanwhile, the Red Dragon being rather potent and Red Dragony and knocking Lord of the Synth back. Ooh, Drolls have Sleep and Hurt More. Oof. Well, now Lord of the Synth trying a metal slime. And given the amount of experience that he gives, if he's able to finish it off, it's again going to get him right back into the fold, as it will almost double the experience he currently has. And an inquiry in chat, do we have a COD counter or a death count? Negativo. If we do, I've lost track of it, and Lord of the Synth getting sent back by that Metal Slime's fire, and Seawolf coming back as well. Oh, Game Boy, all right, we're up to 16. And, randomly selected, yeah. I don't know. I think that it's yeah. We'll have to go back and double check that or something. The COD count is referring to the deaths of the of our racers here. Is based off of Dragon Warrior 2, where when you pass, you were told that thou art as cold as a cod, or thou art dead cold as a cod. I also thought it was count of deaths at first, but you can go either way with it. So Seawolf still looking to get to level 9 at this point and is meandering around trying to find another enemy that can get him to that point. And yes, if you If you see it, say it, essentially. If you enter the COD++ into chat, you can add to the death count. Meanwhile, Lord of the Synth back in, or actually is in Garanham. He'll be able to pick up the full plate to handle a little bit of damage. And Poltergeists have sleep. And hurt. And the Seawolf utilizing the stop spell to help negate some of that, but having some trouble attacking it. I believe somebody noticed in chat why the reluctance to use hurt, but Seawolf finally doing so and hitting him for 10 and, all right, 22 experience, but 215 gold.
The gold count's at least nice, especially with the amount of gold that our equipment has been costing us so far, at least in these shops we've seen. And Magiwyvern's running away from Synth.
And Baby Breath from Stone Man. Well, Lord of the Synth dispatching of a ghost, and that's going to get him up a level to level 8.
So far, very minimal exploration done, but both of the runners are fairly close in experience, with Seawolf only about 203 ahead.
And a lot of attack on those wolves, but I believe he had said they only give 10 experience.
Right, only 10 experience from the wolves. So unfortunately, they take quite a bit to take down with not much to be given afterwards.
Oof. And just before approaching the two towns, Lord of the Synth getting spanked by a wizard. Meanwhile, the Seawolf getting the exact amount to get to level 9. 18 hit points and 10 agility. And the Droll Magi's not very potent in experience, only 4 experience. Magicians, meanwhile, able to be one-shotted for 75. That's not a bad play. And Sports Hefe noting in chat, yes, the Wizard definitely swinging for the fences, as in a lot of places the spring training games have started in the Major League Baseball season. Lord of the Synth now with a Warlock and getting an excellent move for 38, but not able to take him down.
Warlock's being a little bit beefy. Hopefully the return, though, once he does take it down, will be worth the effort.
Lord of the Synth going with a few hurt spells. Pretty decent amount of hit points that the Warlock has. Already closing in on, okay, at about 60, and oh, he runs away.
Not doing too much damage, scoring either a 0 or a 1 so far, but it does decide to run away, possibly just before he's about to die as well, even. We have a Demon Knight over on Seawolf's side, who's taking a hefty amount of damage and also runs away. So going to be a little difficult trying to get those levels in when the enemies continue to run away.
And yes, the expression by Hyperstrike using one of my favorite emojis that I've seen here on Twitch. And yes, definitely some rude departures. So Lord of the Synth only trailing by about 270 or so experience. Essentially one metal slime away from getting right back in it.
Yeah, so far the experience as far as level gaining has been rather fast-paced. We have found 3 towns, having found Hawksness, Cantlin, and Garenham, but have not been able to find much else so far as they get stats before they get too far away. But he does find himself a metal slime here.
With some fire. Oh, but it runs away.
Yep, and quick to run away as metal slimes do. Theseawolf getting the news that there's not going to be much found in these shops aside from that 408 gold large shield, with everything else being just a bit too pricey.
Well, and that may be the play. Theseawolf now going into Hawk's Nest. I'm thinking of seeing what there is in store, and this could be a high risk, high reward situation depending on what the enemy is. Oh, it's a slime.
We have just a slime here, but as we know, slimes in the past have been prone to having Dragon Lord breath. Well, this time only baby's breath, though.
Yeah, that's no ordinary slime. It's got huge teeth a mile wide. Look at the bones. Oh, and it's got sleep also.
Wow, stop spell and sleep here.
But he's able to get stop spell on him. And the attack, thankfully, isn't that high.
It's just going to be that baby's breath he's going to have to deal with, which he can out-heal it if he gets at least a decent heal roll. That and with the sleep and physical attacks gives him a great chance at healing before another baby's breath comes through. And a Kaishin Ichinogeki will take it down. Only 43 experience, but what do we find? Oh, just a fairy's flute.
Oh.
High risk, but not too much reward there. That does give him enough gold, however, it looks like he might be picking up that large shield now.
Certainly not a bad play.
Yeah, full plate and large shield, giving quite a boost in defense here. That's what, 24 from the full plate, 10 from the large shield, so an extra 34 defense?
That is correct. But even though the flute has been acquired and it seems like a disappointment in terms of the item, there's also that knowledge, realizing, okay, that the other 2 items, the Erdrick's token and Erdrick's armor, have the potential to be in the other 2 search spots, one of which is somewhere on the overworld, and the other being in the town of Cole, which has yet to be found. But we also don't know how, as Smashy points out in chat, we don't know how effective the golems may be. That could be something where putting them to sleep and perhaps wailing away at them, they could have 255 experience and maybe 200 and some odd gold. Or it could be more like the vanilla Dragon Warrior game where it could be 5 experience and 9 gold. It's completely randomized. And the Theseawolf finding not 1 but 2 caves. And this one, I believe, is the Grave of Garen?
And yet, we do have the Grave of Garenham, so at least 3 chests that'll be checked here, as we don't have any keys as of yet.
Figured since I was talking about the slime, I'd go with that. There are those who call me Tim. That and I always get trouble with that, even with Radiant. It's like, all right, is that the grave or is that the mountain cave?
We find a cursed belt, some wings,
and some big bucks.
Yeah, not too much to be found here.
Let's see about the other cave. This one is the mountain cave.
Wow, so Garen's grave and the mountain cave both being right next door to each other. Both a wealth of chests to be found. This one, however, can be full cleared as long as the enemies allow him to do so, as Lord of the Synth seems to be on his way down to that exact area now as well.
And that is a big as long as. Ooh, Goldman's pretty beefy attack, and wow, a Kaishin not even enough to take out the Goldman. That excellent move or critical hit. This is just a slugfest between the two. One that's going to be won by the Goldman.
Yep, no exploring the mountain cave this time around. Perhaps as Lord of the Synth makes his way towards those caves, we'll have a bit better luck.
And the Magidrake hitting Lord of the Synth, who is trying so hard to get away, but after having Stop Spell finally successfully hit, ends up hitting that Dragon Lord breath.
Yeah, those Magidrakes definitely will be a tough enemy to deal with having that Dragon Lord breath. And I mean, they have a decent amount of HP. Without the armor dealing anywhere from, 64 to 78? Somewhere in that area?
I think 72 is the max.
72? So hitting them for almost their max health. We've got Theseawolf having a little bit of trouble from the Fun Police and will be sent back to the penalty box by it, while Lord of the Synth is on his way, looks to be going back to where those caves were, although he doesn't know that they're there as he did not get far enough to find them yet. Now, while there wasn't any of the key items, as well as any things such as the Erdrick Sword or Death Necklace or Fighters being found in Garen's grave, Mountain Cave could still hold a magic key, which would then allow them to purchase more keys, check the treasury, check the chest in Garen's grave, as well as be able to check the staircase in back of Garenham's grave, or of Garenham, as well as the Tantegel basement, as we have not seen Dumbledore yet. So if Lord of the Synth does get through Mountain Cave, that could give him a bit of an exploration advantage at this point.
Which certainly would be the way to go, as noted in chat that by Smashy, that the amount of experience to get to level 10 is almost as much, actually in this case, more than what it took to get from levels 1 through 9.
Still a far sight better than the vanilla level 10 experience requirement. As Lord of the Synth runs into a knight who is not too troublesome and gives 117 experience and 165 gold, so not too bad to deal with. And he did skip on going to the grave and decided to check the other cave first, so we'll actually get to hopefully see what we have in the mountain cave, as Theseawolf is making his way back to that same cave now.
We got some wings to start off on the upper level.
Meanwhile, the Star Wyvern not too happy about the Synth taking those wings, but does not do much damage either. and goes down pretty quick for, not bad, 61 experience and 134 gold. That'll be enough to get Lord of the Synth up to level 9 now, at least. As Theseawolf runs into yet another gold man, but does get away this time. And now we have Lord of the Synth's turn for the gold man. See how he fares. And gets away as well.
So Seawolf doing a nice job of getting the experience up there. He's already up over 1,000, got a mere 207 experience to get to level 10.
So far, an herb and big bucks in the top 2 chests.
A little underwhelming, all things considered, and Droll Magi giving 4 experience. Not really going to be worth a lot of the time here.
It's looking like at this rate, we'll see what our last chest holds here. It does give us a magic key. And nothing much to be found so far between Garen's Grave and the Mountain Cave. We do still have 2 chests left in the bottom of Garen's Grave, but we have the 3 in Garenham as well as the 4 in the Tantagel Treasury, which may be holding quite a few of our items that we're looking for.
Now, given the amount of gold that they already have, would it almost be wise here, at least in Seawolf's case, and if Lord of the Synth is able to get over to open those chests as well, to, well, looks like Seawolf is going to take the death regardless, but now back at the castle, go to the back of Tantagel, buy more keys, and go open the treasury, and you've got the chance to grind up on whatever is there.
Right, it would definitely be wise to go purchase more keys, as Seawolf does go to do, since they only have 1 magic key at this point. They do have the gold to buy more, and if there does happen to be gold in the bottom, or in the treasury of Tantagel, I would set up a nice gold grind where they could pick up the magic armor, as well as that flame sword that we saw in the towns.
Now, for those wondering, as far as the referencing of a gold grind, it has to do with a programming oversight in the game as far as keeping track of the number of open chests, which gets reset once you enter the overworld, as the basement contents look to be the Stones of Sunlight Cave, and has, well again, I was going to say, it says Erdrick's armor, however, it looks like it's the dragon scale. And that's just getting to the point that I'd mentioned, is that it can only keep track of and make 8 chests disappear. Now, there were the 5 that were opened in the mountain cave, and once you are back into the throne room, the 3 chests that you opened up in the beginning of the game, those remain locked in, so those account for 3. So the 9th chest that you go to open, well, the chest won't disappear, so you can keep going after it, and it gives you some interesting amount items, as they're listed as, well, the bamboo pole, but it looks like there's fairy water, an empty chest, which means that was a magic key.
Well, we did get our Stones of Sunlight, and that looks like to be the bottom right chest in the treasury, though. And unless Erdrick's sword had been one of those, wasn't much else to be found. With one we know for sure being a fairy water, and the other potentially being an herb, possibly.
I believe so, because he had 6 keys already. Might have behooved the Seawolf to, if there was an herb in there, just save a little bit of time and just do essentially an herb grind to max up to 6 herbs, and also save yourself about 96 gold and the time of having to go purchase them at an item shop.
Right, but will not be a gold grind this time around, so unless perhaps Garenham holds a couple of chests with big bucks, we will not be seeing that flame sword or the magic armor, most likely.
Well, even still, how would one get to Garenham to be able to implement the gold grind?
Well, a bit of a poor man's gold grind.
Yeah,
open
true.
the door, grab the chest.
Of the back of the basement of Garenham. And the Seawolf dispatching of that metal slime and is going to go to level 10 with a 10 power increase, 14 MP. Those both looking good.
And Lord of the Synth choosing to run away from the metal slime and will now be going into Garen's grave. Now, he does have that magic key, so I'm wondering if he's going to try opening the door and explore the bottom floors or not. That would mean that he would still need to find Remoldar to be able to get keys again, but could give him some early exploration if Seawolf does not make his way back to Garen's grave. But we are going to get to see at least what's in the back of Garen, as he did buy keys back in Tanager after taking the death. So far we have a torch.
Synth is going to go for it.
Oh, we do have our silver harp in the back of Garenham, however. And another torch. And yeah, Lord of the Synth does decide to go for the key door in Garenham's grave. Hopefully he will find something useful in those two chests to possibly give him a early advantage here, since he did not save that key to buy more.
And it looks like in the back of Garenham is the tablet cave. No enemy encounters in the tablet cave, and after navigating through the little maze-like area of the two floors, there is a lone treasure chest. Ooh, and Lord of the Synth taking a death to a droll, casting Hurt More. And we've got the Death Necklace in the tablet cave.
Not a bad find, as we have seen the Death Necklace can be a fairly deciding factor once you do go for Dragon Lord. And Pyre does bring up a good point there. He can go back into Mountain Cave to regain that key, but a bit of a trek to get the key, since it was far in the second floor of the Mountain Cave.
Now, the impact of the Death Necklace is, in the vanilla game, it's a cursed item that otherwise has no effect other than it's cursed, and if you are wearing a cursed item, which you have to actually use the item to wear it, similarly to the cursed belt that the Seawolf is selling at the moment at the Garenham item shop. But along with being cursed, once you die and go back to the castle, the king immediately kicks you out of the castle.
Wow, and the Seawolf choosing to just go ahead and sell the Death Necklace.
Huh. Well, the power of the Death Necklace in this seed, along with just being cursed, it's programmed into Dragon Warrior Randomizer to give you a bonus 10 strength, 10 attack power, I should say, but at the cost of 25% of your max hit points.
And the Seawolf does pick himself up a hand axe, so that does give him at least a fair amount more attack power for taking these enemies down. Meanwhile, Lord of the Synth looks like he's going back down to the caves or for more exploration.
So opting to sell the Death Necklace that would have given 10 attack power to purchase a hand axe that gives him 15 attack power.
As we do see that the Dracumas give 190 and will be enough to get Seawolf up to a level 11 at least now. Not too much with a 1, 5, 4, and 1 stat increase and no spells though. Meanwhile, Lord of the Synth chooses to just go past the caves and see what else there is to be found.
Well, it looks like this is going to be another one of those seeds where a lot of the potent spells tend to be later in the leveling process. As already at level 11, no heal more, no hurt more. But we do have a Magidrake with Dragon Lord Breath.
Stopping Seawolf's attempt to explore once again. Meanwhile, Synth has found a Metal Scorpion. which does not deal too much damage so far. And is going to just run away before he gets to find out what it gives. Now we have our AK-47. However, not too potent in power, as he does go down in one hit, but not giving much in experience either, with only 4. So thankfully not acting in their normal way as they do in the vanilla game, affectionately known as AK-47 due to how hard they hit. Not so much in this one, however. But we do have another cave find by Lord of the Synth.
Yeah, the Armored Knight, apparently the armor in this particular seed is aluminum foil.
And it seems his axe may have been made of the same, as it did not do too much to Lord of the Synth. But we do find South Swamp, however, with no outside to skip to the northern end. As when you do walk into the swamp and use the outside spell, whether you come from the north or south entrance, it will instantly take you to the northern side of it and send you back outside, potentially onto our next continent. And Smashy noting that there was a crit miss there, so somebody rolled a nat 1 on that one.
The ever noted Kaishin Negata. As Seawolf going to go to level 12. And has learned Hurt More.
Getting Hurt More will be quite a boost to Seawolf. Having that hand axe and now Hurt More, being able to deal quite a bit of damage. Lord of the Synth does find that we have the Jerk Cave on the other side of Swamp. So a little bit of more information for Lord of the Synth that the Seawolf does not currently have. With only about 800 experience in the lead currently, still not too far away from Lord of the Synth being able to catch up. Wow, and hurt more in that Magidraki, but does not manage to take him down. As Lord of the Synth runs into Magidraki, not so lucky and does get taken down by it. Looks like 2 hurt more to take down a Magidraki for not much experience rewarded.
Only 15.
So far, Pause, Cole has not been found, as Seawolf does get some revenge from a Magidraki and sends him back to the Sin Bin now.
Cole has not been found as of yet, Pause 82.
And so many enemies running away, not giving Synth a chance to actually gain any experience at this point. But Metal Slimes are susceptible to hurt more, but with quite a bit of health, he runs away to fight another day. So far, the towns that we have not located is Cole, Rimildar, and Breckenary, but we have found Cantlin, Hawksness, and Garnham so far. We did find that Hawksness only has the Fairy Flute to be found, whereas Garnham did hold our Silver Harp, and the Stones of Sunlight were found in Mountain Cave. Or, sorry, not Mountain Cave, Tantagel Castle.
In the treasury, yes. Lord of the Synth trying to hurt spam a warlock. And Simple Sarah, I know that the large shield was purchased by the Seawolf. If Lord of the Synth bought the shield, I will admit that I missed it.
Yeah, I did not catch Lord of the Synth buying the large shield. Did pick up the full plate, however. This Warlock showing that he has quite a beefy HP pool. And will run away, as many of our enemies have been doing so far this seed. And Seawolf buying a few bottles of fairy water, it looks like. And giving us potentially our first check at what our coordinates are going to be here. Meanwhile, Lord of the Synth has gone into Hawk's Nest, potentially to try his attempt at our boss here and see what item is to be found, which we do know is the fairy flute. So possibly a bit of disappointment. Well, maybe Lord of the Synth is choosing not to. Ooh, but 34 to the south and 59 east for our coordinates. Looks like we might be seeing our princess, yeah. Yeah, those are some nasty coordinates. And looking at our map, with 34 south, you're going to run into some barriers, whether it be the mountain or the ocean, before you actually get that full 34 south. And same goes for the 59 east. Not impossible to count, but definitely a tricky count.
Lord of the Synth looking at the statistics and opting not to buy the large shield. Easily affordable at about half the gold that it already has.
Yeah, not too sure as to why he wouldn't buy that large shield. I mean, it's an extra 10 defense points and would certainly help out with these enemies. Although they haven't been hitting for too much in the physical damage, at least.
Interesting. Maybe trying to find a couple of enemies to grind on to possibly get a somewhat purchasable weapon.
And this is true. He could potentially get the hand axe if he grinds up enough gold here. I'd definitely make his ability to kill enemies significantly easier. Meanwhile, Seawolf heading back towards our caves that we had found, knowing that the grave, at least the first 3 chests, were not worth it, but still missing the check on the second 2 chests, as Lord of the Synth does get sent back home by a droll. Droll's got a droll.
And Seawolf finding some nice enemies to grind up some experience on. The Drakema's giving 190, the Wraith Knight's giving 122.
And that will be enough for a new level, 5, 9, 12, and 8 with a few more spells, but still missing the elusive Heal More spell.
Oh, and that gave not 1 but 2 levels. This is up to 14.
Oh wow, you're right, it did. So it looks like Heal More is going to be lying in our upper levels yet again with either 15 or 16 holding it.
So it was almost 1,000 experience to get from 12 to 13, but then a mere pittance of experience to get from 13 to 14.
And we do have the Seawolf going ahead and taking a look at our bottom 2 chest in the grave now.
And meanwhile, the Droll continuing to be a problem for Lord of the Synth. And the challenge in trying to find some enemies here in the mid-level, as Amazing Amphora is noting in chat, has allowed the Seawolf to begin to take a lead in this race, as we've hit the 49-minute mark of this race.
Yeah, those trolls with Hortmore? With Hurtmore, and then we have the Magidrakis who have Dragonlord's Breath, not being very friendly to our runners here.
Yes, those troublesome Drulls with Hortmore. Or Horkmore, as noted in chat.
Yeah,
there are plenty of Horks in Dragon Warrior 2. That's something completely different.
Yeah, well, that face they make, it kind of looks like they're horking a little.
Game Boy F9 noting in chat, honk more, which is what you tend to do when you're stuck in traffic, I suppose.
Yeah, it doesn't have too much of a good effect, however. Unless your goal was to get other people honking. Perhaps that's where the term honking mad came from. And Seawolf does
mine on that one.
Seawolf does look like he's going to get to at least see what our first chest in the bottom floors of Garenham's grave gives us. And just a torch, as Lord of the Synth seems to be attempting to make his way back into one of the two caves, perhaps to get the magic key that he's missing out on for exploring Garenham as well as Tantagil's treasury. Meanwhile, the Seawolf getting another 190 from a Drakema will get him to level 15 at least with 19 attack power and a new spell to be learned, which will be his Heal More.
Wow. And that just makes these Drakemas that much easier. Two-shotting and another 190. And the experience lead quickly jumping up to about 2,300.
It does appear the Seawolf seems to be a little lost in our grave here, though, as Lord of the Synth is making his way into Mountain Cave again, which I can only assume is to get the key, or perhaps he's just going to grind here.
Ooh, Dragon Lord Breath for 65 from the Magidrake, taking Seawolf down to 1 hit point, and then graciously running away.
That was a little bit of a saving grace there for Seawolf as he fails to run, and then the Magidrake said, you know what, I'll let you live. Unfortunately, Seawolf does not seem to know, and well, he does get another level here, though, with 2 power, 2 speed, 24 HP.
Hit points.
And there we are, Seawolf now on the right path to the Vanilla Silverharp chest in the very bottom of Garen's grave. So either perhaps he forgot his way there, or misread a map, perhaps. Maybe just took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
And that always tripped up Bugs Bunny too. There we go, Game Boy. Yeah, Seawolf taking the scenic route.
Meanwhile, the Lord of the Synth does get a Star Wyvern for only 61, unfortunately. And Seawolf taking a death to those Magidrakes with the Dragon Lord Breath, so we will not get to see what our last chest in the grave has, at least not yet. Meanwhile, Lord of the Synth getting a little more exploration, possibly going to go back to the Swamp Cave and see what the other continent has to offer here. Or, I don't believe, he has not been into Cantland, so he does not know what the coordinates are, or that they will be a required item to be found. So he is not likely to be seeing Princess Gwaelin at any time soon, at least.
And with another metal slime kill, Seawolf going to go to level 17 with 2 power, no agility, 1 hit point, and 17 MP.
We do have a new town found by Lord of the Synth, however, and we have the ever-important Rimildar. So he will now be able to get those keys and get stocked up on them, plus check what our one chest here in Rimildar has to offer. And perhaps see if there's something worth purchasing in this shop that's not overpriced. Well, if the soldier ever lets him. Those NPCs do love to troll. Well, we do have a large shield in this shop as well, and silver shield for only 33.28, so not bad at all. Even without a gold grind, that's at least a doable amount of gold.
We certainly shall see. And maybe perhaps that's what Lord of the Synth was holding off. Well, yeah, I was going to say, holding off on the shield to be able to purchase the keys.
It looks like Theseawolf may have been trying to count his way to our coordinate item here. Taking the steps very slowly and was contemplating over there in that corner.
And inside Rimmeldar, we have the Fighter's Ring. Well, that'll add another 2 attack power for Lord of the Synth.
Wow, and the Fun Police going down easy with 150 experience, though.
Yeah, the Red Dragon, affectionately known as the Fun Police, because in the standard version of the game, they are among the top 3 hardest enemies in the game in terms of strength and agility and hit points and just overall nastiness.
Making good use of that repel spell, but does not seem to be repelling the dragons, as both the red and green dragons rearing their ugly heads here. And Lord of the Synth still on his exploration here. Has not returned to Tantegel to find his Stones of Sunlight yet. Nor has he been into Gernham to get his Silver Harp, as we did find that located in the back of Gernham, but does get a lot more exploration done. We are still at this point missing coal as well as Breckenary, which, based on what we've seen in the shop so far, unless Breckenary is just having a great sale going on the remaining equipment we have not seen, not likely to be too fond of seeing that town this time around.
Probably not.
And Smashy asking, don't they have the best stats of any random encounter and sleep in vanilla? Not too sure about Red Dragons having sleep, but they do have quite a hefty physical attack, as well as a fairly decent defense and HP count. But they do give a whopping 255 for experience, one of only 2 monsters in the game that do give that in vanilla, at least.
The vanilla randomizer version, yeah, one of
right.
3. The others being the Golem and the Metal Slime. But yeah, Red Dragons in the vanilla randomizer version with 120 strength, which the only one stronger than that is the Dragon Lord 2, and also 90 agility, which is the only ones that have more or as much or more would be, again, Dragon Lord 2, Metal Slimes, and I believe the Rogue Scorpions have about as much. Plus, they have anywhere from 75 to 100 hit points as well.
All right, yeah, forgot the Golems also give that max count as well. Lord of the Synth finding our Staff of Rain cave, where you can trade in that Silver Harp to collect the Staff of Rain, while the Theseawolf does make it to the bottom of Garen's grave this time, only to find a herb sitting in that bottom chest. I believe the only chest that we have not seen found so far is going to be the Stones of Sunlight cave chest.
No, we did find the Stones of Sunlight cave, and that had dragon scale.
Oh, that's correct, yeah. So we have seen, I believe, every chest in the game now. The 1 in Rimmeldar, the 5 in the grave, and the 5 in the mountain cave. The 3 in the back of Garen's grave, or Garenham, rather, not Garen's grave. And then the 4 chests to be found in Tantegel's treasury. So it looks like our world coordinate item and the coal item will be the token and the flute, unless the flute is hiding in Sharlock, along with the sword to be hidden in Sharlock as well.
I believe you mean, Ryu, the token and the armor. The flute
the token and the armor, yes.
Yeah, the fairy flute was in Hawk's Nest. The Rimmildar chest was the fighter's ring. The treasury, as you just saw Lord of the Synth pick up, had the magic key, the stones of sunlight, the fairy water, and an herb. The stones of sunlight cave had the dragon scale. The death necklace was in the tablet cave, as the sea wolf going to rescue Princess Gwaelin.
Yeah, with those coordinates that we had, definitely a good idea there. So yeah, by process of elimination here, we do know that the coordinates have been required for an item, which could be holding the token, as well as possibly the armor. And then we also have coal for the token or armor, which has yet to be found so far.
So we do know that both are necessary. It's just a matter of locating coal and locating that item. And the added advantage that Seawolf has in taking the princess back to the castle, along with her giving the coordinates, as she is affectionately known as the GPS, the Gwaelin Positioning System, she will also let our players know how much experience they need to get to the next level. Given that those are randomized statistics, you don't necessarily have to die and go back to the king to find out that information.
Yeah, that can definitely, when you're going for a experience grind, not having to go back to the castle or just wonder how much you need for your next level, it can definitely be very useful, especially if your next level is 4,000 away, but your stats are at least a decent amount, or if it's only 100 away, even though you may not need the level, well, it's 100 experience, why not? Meanwhile, we have, I may mispronounce this, but Killin97 wondering if Gwaelin can float after jumping. A Super Mario Bros. 2 US reference to Princess Peach, who floats when she jumps.
That is certainly one for contemplation. It'd certainly make navigating over some of these water tiles a little bit easier, but alas, not to be.
Right, or even some of those swamp tiles, just a little bit there. Or at least until you find the armor.
Z-Man, I don't know if slow seed is necessarily the way to go. There have been a lot of high experience enemies. It's just been a matter of almost everything has been explored, and pretty much everything has been found, and it's just a matter of getting those key items. Coal has not been found yet, which we know has either Erdrick's token or Erdrick's armor. The coordinate spot, which is 34 to the south and 59 to the east, has the other of those two items. Hawksnest had the fairy flute, which the guardian was a slime. And everything else that has been explored hasn't really yielded a whole lot. The Garanham had the silver harp, and the stones of sunlight were in the treasury. So at this point, it's a matter of getting the coordinates, which Seawolf has got Gwaelin and is on the verge of finding one of those two items. Lord of the Synth has been having a bit of challenge with the mid-game in terms of finding enemies, and has been searching the two caves, the Mountain Cave and the Grave of Garen, which are pretty similar in location to one another, but not really garnering a whole lot. Between the 10 chests there, oh, the Seawolf has found Erdrick's armor. So the armor was in the coordinate spot, which means that we now know by process of elimination that Cole has Erdrick's token. And Cole has been found by neither of our two racers here this evening.
And poor Lord of the Synth, who has made his way past that spot multiple times, but not knowing that the armor was there. Meanwhile, Seawolf has now found Rimildar. We'll find that there's not much to be found behind these two doors, but does give him a bit more information as Lord of the Synth is making his way into the bottom of Garen's grave, who will be disappointed to find there's not much there. Well, he will not find that there's much there at all, since the Magidraki with Dragonlord Breath will send him home once again. I'm not acknowledging that one.
Oh, yeah, I see where you're going with that. To answer the question in chat, the upcoming race, which will be over on Randomania 2, is going to be Angry Larry versus Azrael Ravenheart. That is set to go at the top of the upcoming hour, and that will be over on the sister station Randomania 2. And that will be brought to you in commentary by High Spirits and Z-Man, who is currently in chat with us here. Although, Noriaster letting us know that if this seed concludes prior to that 11 p.m. start, that it will be here on Randomania, so no need to move over to the other if the seed finishes in the appointed time.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a little with Z-Man here. 1 hour 6 minutes in, while the Seawolf does have quite a bit of the items collected, he has not found the Staff of Rain cave. I do not believe we've seen the Jerk cave either, and it's still missing coal for the token, even with Charlotte being just right next door.
Well, Lord of the Synth finally hitting level 10 and having quite a bit of time to do so. It's probably been at least a good 20-25 minutes between getting to level 9 and level 10, as the differential between those two levels was about 731 experience. As the Seawolf has found the Staff of Rain cave and is trading in the Silver Harp for that Staff of Rain. So all that is needed is the token, which is a matter of finding the ever-elusive Town of Coal.
And still need coal for the token as well as the Jerk cave. We have seen this area where the Seawolf is by Lord of the Synth, so we know that it's just going to be a dead end to mountains. So potentially going to need to find the Jerk cave on the other side of the swamp. As Lord of the Synth makes his way back into the grave, but just about instantly gets stopped by a Magidraki with that Dragonlord Breath, who thankfully runs away from him and does not stop his attempt to explore that last chest this time. At least for now, it doesn't.
Z-Man, yes. Based on the process of elimination, the Erdrick sword is going to be one of the 7 chests in Sharlock. As between the mountain cave and grave, which are pretty close to one another, the 10 items in there, 3 of them were gold chests, 2 of them were wings, 2 of them were herbs. There was a torch, a cursed belt, and a magic key.
Oh, and there is our Jerk cave on the other side of Swamp, but still need to find that token, which coal could possibly be on this continent as well. As I believe we've pretty much explored all of the main continent so far.
Well, in finding that mountain area, I thought I saw a town. Yeah, okay, that confirms what I thought I saw. The town southwest of those mountains, and we have found coal.
And not too far away from the Jerk cave, finding our magic armor for 9,592, but a nice cheap chainmail. Too bad it's no longer needed.
Yeah, when you've got Erdrick's armor, no need for the others. And the Seawolf has found Erdrick's token. Here we are, an hour and 9 minutes into the seed, closing in on that 70-minute mark. And the Seawolf has just about everything that is needed. And there is the silver shield, and it's about what did we say? It was about 3,800 gold, give or take?
I believe just under 34. As
30,
Lord
yeah, it was 3,000 something. I forget the exact amount.
As Lord of the Synth gets barred from the grave yet again, this time by the Fun Police sending him home. That grave is not being too lucrative for him here. And as we do know, that last chest he has not explored is not worth it either.
No, way down the grave is going to be an herb. And the guess is already coming into chat, and as noted in chat, if you're looking to partake in some of the chaotic nature that you see here, you can download the randomizer at github.com/magru/dwrandomizer/releases. And also on the chat is the link to the Discord, where there are plenty of racers who are getting involved. More information on the Chaos Tournament is available at the dq.challenge.com website, and also is the link there to the upcoming schedule that you can see when the upcoming races are going to be, as we are here in the first round matchup of this Swiss-style tournament, as the Seawolf is using the Rainbow Drop and is going to go into Charlotte Castle.
Now, that MP and HP counts, not sure what his strength count is at this moment, but the HP and MP is definitely there for at least a dive attempt to get the sword at any rate.
And to answer the question in chat, yes, the Seawolf did go into Rimmildar. He did find the fighter's ring that was in the chest in Rimmildar.
Meanwhile, Lord of the Synth still working on grinding some experience and exploration. Has not explored the other side of the Swamp Cave since his first trek over there. So is still missing out on locating coal, which will have the token, and has not been to Cantlin since acquiring keys either to locate the coordinates to find what we know will be the armor. Does seem to be giving up on diving into the grave, though, at this point, as he walks right past it this time.
Well, at this point, Lord of the Synth is probably realizing, an hour and 12 minutes into the seed, still hasn't had a weapon, and is struggling to gain levels and figure out what to do in terms of exploration. So trying to effort all the way down to the bottom of the grave for who knows what when there are still so many other places to look. It's perhaps one of those where if there has to be a doubling back, that'll be a risk that can be taken a little bit down the road.
And amazing Inferno's noting that this dive is being a little punishing for the Seawolf currently, who does seem to be using quite a bit of magic to make his way down there. So he may be just going for a sword grab for now, and then coming back a little later with maybe a couple more levels under his belt, perhaps.
Well, and that is a factor that we're not too sure of, and not sure if the Seawolf is going to check necessarily to see how many experience is needed to get to the next level, or perhaps that's not even a concern, as it's just, all right, I'm going to try to do what I can down there, and if a level happens, great, but otherwise, tunnel visioning toward that sword.
And Lord of the Synth attempting to take down a Metal Slime gets an excellent move, but still that Metal Slime runs away. Even for not having a weapon currently, is punching for a decent amount on these enemies, though. And might be making a move to rescue the prince. Oh, nope, never mind. Change his mind.
It doesn't look like we're going to see a Guimond save as of yet. Yes, if you select a female character sprite, instead of the princess being locked away in the Swamp Cave, it is Prince Guimond as opposed to Princess Gwaelin.
And Simple Sarah noting that the red dragons are vulnerable to hurt more, but that is 5 MP cost each time that you have to use it. And McGrew noting that Sophia does still get Gwaelin, though.
So is it just playing as Gwaelin that gets you Guimond?
And Lord of the Synth takes another death to a Scorpion this time around. Not having much luck in... Oh, wow, and only 3 experience from his next level. But not having too much luck with these enemies.
Okay, only Gwaelin does get Guimond, hence creating the role reversal.
And Lord of the Synth finally actually manages to take down a Metal Slime, which does get him up to level 12 now. But still, we know that Heal More did not come until level 15, I believe it was.
Which, unfortunately for Lord of the Synth, is still... Well, I don't say unfortunately, but it's about 1,100 experience away. And... I mean, there have been some metal slimes there. That is just roughly 5 metal slimes away.
Alright, so long as they don't run away.
Meanwhile, the Seawolf not exactly smoothly getting down to the bottom level of Sharlock, but not exactly a rough grind either, as now, let's see here, we've got gold, and the Erdrick Sword in middle left. Seawolf not going to bother checking the other chests. Now with 65 MP, that's only 8 heal mores. Is he at least going to see what the Guardian enemy is, the mini-boss before the Dragon Lord, perhaps?
And nobody guessing middle left this time around, so no winners this time. And it does seem like he will be checking our Guardian at least, with 145 for attack now.
The defense is 75. That could mean that Dragon Lord 1 could poke for a pretty high amount.
Yeah, that Silver Shield's looking ever more nice, especially as he's just on the cusp of being able to afford it at this point. I don't foresee him making an attempt at Dragon Lord with this low MP count at the moment, though.
And it is a red dragon.
And that will go down just to a quick hurt more, and then off to Dragon Lord he will go, or perhaps he will dip out and purchase a Silver Shield.
Only 110 experience. Which is just 1 hurt more away.
And Lord of the Synth making his way into Cantlin. He does have keys, so he may go ahead and find out the coordinates at this time.
Ooh.
There's our small shield for 46-48.
Well, Seawolf is herbing up. 155 attack power.
Yeah, he's going to give it a try.
13 to 27 attack on the Dragon Lord, so he's going to give it a go.
And Lord of the Synth is going to go get his
One-shotting
coordinates.
the Dragon Lord. 1 at least.
Or perhaps not.
Some high rolls pretty early on, already up to 50, make it 68.
Seems he might be healing and then going and getting his coordinates.
And he does have a low roll, and the Seawolf is going to take it. Only 110 hit points, taking out Dragon Lord, and not even needing to return as it's mere walking distance back to the castle. Ladies and gentlemen, get out your GGs for the Theseawolf1. He is going to finish up here after talking with Gwalin, getting the involvement here. The Theseawolf1 going to finish with an official SRL time of 80 minutes and 50 seconds.
LordOfTheSynth decides just to go ahead and forfeit this one. I can't say I blame him with being an hour and 21 minutes in and not doing too bad, however, but I don't blame him.
Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge and a high risk, high reward. Well, I guess medium risk and high reward in terms of the Seawolf. Deciding instead of opting to go and get that silver shield, it looked like the fight worked out pretty well. And with only what looked to be about 110 HP for the Dragon Lord 2, or perhaps less, as it was 110 that got to that point over the course of the 5 strikes. And Game Boy F9 making note here that the upcoming race, set for just over a half hour from now, will be right here on Randomania, so stick with us as we will bring you the action coming up in about a half hour. But first, it looks like we're about to have a chat with the victor here, as just joining us in Discord is the Theseawolf1. Congratulations and GG on a fantastic run.
Yeah, that was an interesting little mix of seeds there. a lot of weird enemies, very strange enemy set.
Yeah, definitely a strange enemy set. 3 different enemies that were being rather troublesome with sleep, most notably the Droll that was giving you a little bit of trouble, and LordOfTheSynth quite a bit of trouble from what we saw in the back and forth.
Yeah, the Droll was a monster, but once you had sleep yourself, you put him to sleep. Maggie Drake didn't care. He ignored sleep, he ignored stop spell, he ignored hurt more, he ignored being hit by a sword, and he would sometimes run away and sometimes just blow you up with Dragon Breath. So he was just, there's no answer. He gave like 4 experience points for killing him. There was no answer to that guy. He just didn't care.
The Magidrake was definitely the honey badger of this seed, that is for sure.
Yeah, and even
that guy was awful.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that monster. That should not be a thing. That's
I got fried by him like a dozen times.
LordOfTheSynth joining us here in chat as well.
Yeah, I finally got hurt more. I was like, I'm gonna kill this guy just out of spite. And I was like, yep, he soaked 2 of them, finally died, and gave like 4 experience points. Like, no, this is not a creation of man.
Yeah, I never actually killed one, so
You didn't miss much.
4 experience. Jesus, there were a few enemies like that.
Yeah, I fought a few enemies at the beginning that like would not die. Like they went like 8 rounds and ran away at the very end. And I finally pinned him down and killed him. It was like 60 experience points, 20 experience points. Just a lot of effort for no real reward.
Yeah, there was
Armored Knight also had 4.
Yes.
Yeah, but he was also he never ran away from me on command. I hit him once, he died. Easy stuff.
And then the regular knight, he gave decent experience, but he was always in zones where he'd be going up against monsters that could clean your clock.
Yeah, I saw him and ran. I think I saw him twice and ran away because I was like, I'm going to Garen's grave. I'm diving again. That stupid Drake killed me last time. Getting in, getting
Yeah.
out, and getting my herb. I'm getting my herb and leaving.
So I made a huge mistake. So I had a magic key from the first chest in Garen's grave.
Yep.
And then I burned it and died and didn't go back. I went
You
did other
dug the
things.
you dug the grave, didn't you? Oop, you lost him. Come on back.
No, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, so at the key, first thing I said, at the key, I'm going to walk around until I die. I'm in the mountain cave, and I got killed down there. But I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to go to the throne room. I have my gold grind set to the golden castle, and there was not. And
Yes.
I'm going to
Yes, no gold.
buy tons of keys and do what I have to do. And yeah, the treasure was a bust. I think it was 2 herbs, a magical key, and a pair of wings. Downstairs is garbage.
2 magic keys.
Yeah, great. So the keys were locked by a locked door. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, just simply, most of the spots you look for treasure were kind of junk. Even finding the armor was it was a pretty short coordinates, but there's an ocean in the way, so you had to walk around the whole world and go around the corner to find that spot.
I actually hadn't even gotten that far. What happened was I ended up at about level 6 or 7, where everything was running from me, and then the only monsters that didn't either gave crap experience or they would hit as hard as I could hit them, and then they'd run.
Yeah, it was a race. Maggie Drake or Drakema hit pretty hard, then back and forth. Wolves hit pretty hard back and forth.
Yeah.
What's the other one? That was like another just a basic Rochambeau monster. You just go back and forth and someone dies eventually.
Yeah. My other problem was I wasn't paying attention to my levels, so I got tunnel vision. So by probably like level 8 or 9, I could probably start taking down some of those guys. But I was still running from a lot of stuff because I'm like, oh yeah, they're just gonna burn my HP and run.
Yeah, I noticed that actually seemed to be a big issue for both of you. A lot of the enemies that y'all could kill, particularly those metal slimes, which are giving you a whopping 249 experience, they would quickly run away, even after doing a significant amount of damage.
I was mad when I realized I could finally take metal slimes, and they had 249 experience.
Yeah, the thing was they had a chance to run, and they had about 140 HP, somewhere around there. I hit one that hurt more and 2 sword strikes that were pretty beefy, and it didn't go down. It ran away still. So they had a lot of health, too. So you had to pin them down and kill them as fast as you could. The first one I killed was just dumb luck then. So I got 6 hits off it, and it didn't run away.
I have a question for Lord of the Synth. I'd noticed on a couple of different occasions that you had checked a few of the shops and I'd noticed that there was a large shield that was available for just a little over 400 gold.
Yes, I skipped that.
Yeah, I was kind of curious as to, I guess, what the mindset was. Were you trying to hold out for a
weapon? A weapon.
Okay, because I think you had gone weaponless the entire seed.
Yeah, pretty much. I had just bought a weapon because nothing was affordable.
Yeah, weapons were dumb. I bought a axe for 115. I sold both belts, and I found the death necklace and just nope, money. Sold it and bought an axe.
Yeah. No, I actually broke down and bought the pole, and then checked the lock shop up in Calum and found the axe. And basically, I was grinding for money when you got done.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I can see what is possible. My first kill was a crit. My second kill was a crit. Yeah, it was a crit on a green dragon, killed it for 200 experience points. Second was a crit on a blue dragon, which apparently we had to do it because otherwise you weren't hitting them at all.
Yes, you were hitting them for 1 damage or not at all.
Yeah, I think all the dragons had maximum agility or close to it because all of them I was hitting for a tap damage, and I could blow up a red dragon that hurt more, but I could not hit a green dragon or a blue dragon more than 1 damage. And red dragon in the end game was still taking 3. I was like, no, this is ridiculous. These dragons are fast as lightning.
So I got tunnel vision, and then I fell way behind.
Well, Seawolf, taking a look at the early game, you did have that crit on the green dragon, which gave 104 experience, but it vaulted you from level 1 to level 5 on that one go, and that was about 3 minutes in, and that early advantage was what allowed you to. Yeah, that was what I think
took me
the early difference.
7 minutes for my first kill. It was just a ghost.
I'm still not sure who the noodle was. I killed that enemy with a crit and I had so much stats at that point. I'm like, I don't know who the noodle is anymore. I'm not even sure which enemy was the noodle.
It seems like the green dragon was the noodle enemy there. But it seems it might have been two because the Lord of the Synth did get a ghost down for his first kill. I did have a question for Lord of the Synth here. So something Seawolf did was after getting the magic key from Mountain Cave, raced back to Tantagel, bought more keys, but you chose to go ahead and dive.
I gambled on Garen's grave, yeah, and got burned. I got killed by a droll before getting any of the chests behind the door, and I was like, yeah, I just screwed myself. I screwed myself majorly.
It was a bad key to lose. It was the only key you saw was Rimuldar was all the way across the world through the swamp cave, right side, up the north corner, and north.
Took me a while to find Rimuldar.
Yeah, northeast Mumble. Meanwhile, the Harp Cave was in southeast Mumble.
Like I was there. Everything was running from me, so I'm like, okay, I'll take the gamble. Maybe Erdrick's sword will be down there. That was my thinking.
No, sword was I couldn't find sword anywhere. It was middle chest of the treasury, well, dark treasury.
I've had a lot of chaos seeds where it's down at Charlock.
Yeah, not too shocked. Actually, the race I was watching before was Spark and AA was in the treasury. So I was like, you know what, screw it. There's 5 chests there, but just go digging. Like I'm walking down, I'm not saving MP. I'm blowing up red dragon left to right. No, I'm just healing myself when I have to. Don't care. Get the DL1, kick him in the teeth. He falls down. It's okay, easy enough. Just keep on going.
Well, that actually leads to a question I was going to ask for Seawolf. Did it cross your mind at any point since you had, as you were on your way down, basically to approach the Dragon Lord, with only having roughly 7 heal mores,
less,
and roughly or less? Well, yeah, because you used a couple of hurt mores on the.
Couple. No, I used about 30. I was walking down. Red Dragon
you used a bunch on the way down, but once you got to Dragon Lord, you were down to maybe about 55 or 60 MP, and you had roughly 3,500 gold or so, which was around what the cost of a silver shield was. Did it cross your mind to perhaps get out, get a silver shield, and come back, or were you just, I'm going to go, and if I die, I'll come back?
I want to see what he had. Like, I want to see if the Dragon Lord had any sleep, anything to worry about. Form 1 did ambush me and died in 1 hit, so I don't know what I had. And Form 2, I was hitting for 25 at the get-go, so I was like, I got a triple in the first round. So it's like, if I kill him, great. If not, I'll buy a shield and come back if I have to. But he was so swishy, and the castle's right there. Like, it's 4 steps from Theseawolf. So
it wouldn't have been that much of a loss. So it was kind of a low-risk, high-reward type scenario, and all it took for what your leveling was 5 hits. And it was only, I don't know what the official number was, but it was definitely less than 110 HP, as that was what your strikes had added up to. So it was somewhere between 100 and 110.
Yeah, he had no tricks. He was just a lot of fire breath. He was hitting pretty hard. He was hitting for, the one time he punched me was like for 44, so he probably could have gone over 50 on a punch. I'm not sure how much strength he had. But yeah, he never really got a chance to do anything extreme to me. So he might have had an ability. I'm not sure. I just killed him too fast.
I think the strength and agility for DL2 is the same. I mean, McGrew can certainly correct me if I'm wrong on that, and I know he has, and probably will continue to.
That makes sense, because I hit him. I was at 145 attack power, and I was hitting him probably around 1825. So the math seems to be pretty squared on.
Yeah, and your defense at that point was 75.
Yeah, whatever. he breathes half time anyway. Damage is set, so screw it.
Oh, there you go. So that's still. So yeah, you'll be well. I don't want to say moving on, but you'll be in a little bit more comfortable of a position heading into the second and third Swiss rounds, as one more win will get you into the tournament. Lord of the Synth, not as comfortable, but still certainly a chance to rebound in the second and third rounds to also make the tournament, as a 2-1 record or better will get you into the bracket.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a little disappointed. I mean, I had a couple huge mistakes, but this was a rough seed. That's rando for you. So hopefully, have a little friendlier environment for my next race.
Yeah, I think I want to point out for the this tournament in proper is that there's really no seeding per se, because it's chaos. It's so random. Like, skill is important. Knowing how the game works is important. But in all reality, if every enemy wants to run away from you or kill you, you're kind of out of luck. So this is definitely more of an experience tournament. Whatever happens, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, basically. Chaos mode is going to brutalize you every so often. by every so often, probably about half the time.
Yeah, there were some deaths where I was kind of like, roll my eyes a little bit. It was like, okay, just Maggie Drake especially. It was like, okay, this guy's obviously just a killing machine, and there's no value to him besides murdering me.
Yes, exactly.
I do see a note here in chat. Duncan Thrax, no, we're not going with the Jesse Ventura mindset of win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. Now, this is a fair and integrity-laden tournament, so I don't want to imply any chicanery or otherwise.
I mean, you can't cheat Dragon Lord Breath. No, I get the
That's
tricks.
true.
Stop spell. All these things like, okay, take 69 damage. Oh, I guess I die. All right. I'll see you in about 5 minutes then.
Alrighty. Well, any other last minute thoughts here as we're making our way? We're probably about halfway through the first round of the tournament here, as this was the 5th match, the 6th of our 11 coming up in about 20 minutes here on Randomania.
I guess the only rule about chaos is the seed will win. It'll take its share. Someone eventually kills Dragon Lord, but the seed will have its share. So no matter what you're playing, if you do it yourself at home, you're watching the races, don't get salty because you're going to die in this seed. It's just going to happen.
A lot. I'll adapt what I like to say about key sanity in the past randomizer. We are always behind in chaos mode.
Duly noted. Well, that's going to just about wrap things up here for our second race of the triple header. Make sure to give a follow to our 2 runners here, Lord of the Synth and Theseawolf1. Also, thanks to our restreamer, JK Allen2, as well as my co-commentator here, Ryusation, as well as myself here, Ferran Burgundy, for all of us here at Randomania. I'll stick around. Coming up in 18 minutes, we will have our 3rd matchup of the evening, I should say, as it's going to be Angry Larry against Azrael Ravenheart. And also coming up tomorrow, we've got another triple header on the networks of Randomania. As the first round continues, we've got McGrew against Bresticle, also High Spirits against the Alan Heffley, and Jake Hoper and Zarnax 42. That's all coming up tomorrow. But coming up next, we've got Angry Larry and Azrael Ravenheart in a little bit at the top of the hour. And for everybody here, JK Allen 2, Lord of the Synth, Theseawolf1, Ryusation, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. Good night, everybody. Stick around. See you in 15 minutes for our 3rd race.